Sir is trying. Sir will join in a minute.
Virag,
हाँ sir.
hello.
हाँ yes yes sir yes sir.
Actually, I'm facing the same.
So friends, we are just waiting for our chief guest. Nilesh sir is joining in a while, and after that immediately we'll start our today's session. So please bear with us a few minutes, and we'll start our today's session in a minute or two. Yes, we have a sir is there. Yes, thank you, sir.
My apologies. This is technology. Getting a new
Yes, sir.
platform is always
Uh,
a. Hi,
so
Dungar. How
this is
are
a
you?
different platform, so it took a little longer. But let me welcome you, everyone. So good evening,
Just a heads
everyone.
up.
So bank audit
In the
seasons
future,
are. Uh,
get this thing sorted out in advance, huh, Virag? In future, get this thing sorted out for a new speaker. I'm saying. Hi, Ketan. Yeah.
so thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Good evening,
So
sir.
friends,
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. Please carry on. Yeah.
yes, sir. So thank you, friends. So bank audits are changing fast, and the technology is leading the way. The days of manual checks are behind us. Excel, AI, and data analytics are now essential for auditors to work faster, smarter, and with greater accuracy. So as auditors, we don't just check numbers; we protect trust and transparency in the banking system. So with banking operation becoming more complex, using technology help us detect risk early, improve efficiency and ensure better compliances. So to help us understand this entire transformation, we are privileged to have with us CA Nilesh Vikamsey sir, a stalwart of the profession and a past president of ICAI. Thank you so much, sir. We have a Ketan Saiya sir, a visionary leader and chairman of WRC at present, and our today's speaker and a technology person, CA Dungar U Jain sir, a past chairperson of SIRC. Thank you so much. And most importantly, thank you all the attendees. We have already more than 100 plus who has joined on GoToWebinar. Few people are already watching us on YouTube, and also we are live on LinkedIn as well. So people are taking benefit there as well. So with this insight, today session will help us how to use technology effectively in bank audit, particularly Excel and AI. They are not the buzzword, but we can see that they are already there with the changing time. We have to evolve that. So first, I would like to introduce our past president. Already people are knowing, but as in brief introduction, so when we talk about stalwarts of our profession, CA Nilesh Vikamsey sir stand tall as true legend. We can say in Gen Z language, a goat, greatest of all time. Sir is a past president of ICI, respected independent director, and the president of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, West India Council at present. Sir has left an indelible mark on the financial and corporate world. With the decades of experience in statutory audit, risk management, consulting, and advisory, has shaped the future of governance and financial excellence. Sir's wisdom and leadership have not only guided the profession but also have inspired the generation of chartered accountants. A trustee in Vipassana and Education Institute, Sir contribution go beyond finance. He is a mentor, a thought leader, and a force of positive change. So, with this brief word, we welcome you, sir. It's absolute honor for all of us to have you today in our today's session. Would like to request everyone to have a grand virtual welcome for sir. So, would like to request now,
Thank you.
sir, for a keynote address for our today's session on
Yeah.
bank audit. Over to you, sir.
Many thanks, Virag. Is my audio clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sorry
sir.
for the
Audible, sir.
backdrop. This is my office and there's no virtual screen. This is the first time I'm using GoToWebinar. And sorry for the slight delay because, as we say, bank audit using technology, the moment you are, forced to change from Zoom or to Teams or to something else, Google Meet and all, I think it takes time to get adjusted. So this is the first time I'm going on this particular platform. And Virag, I think finally we get together. I think earlier also Virag had requested me to attend some of the sessions, which for some reason or other I couldn't attend the Connect Easy session. But I'm very happy that I'm attending this session because of two reasons. Both Dungar and Ketan are very dear, sort of friends. I have seen Dungar work in the SIRC as a chairman, as a regional council member. Fantastic work he has done in the sense as in the regional council in the south. So very happy to share the dais with him. And Ketan, what do I say? We have worked together in the same. We are from the same firm, KKC and Associates. So earlier Kimji Kaurji. So very happy that, and I'm sharing the platform with him. Coming to the, I would say bank audit using technology, which is the topic of the day, and I think Dungar is going to speak more about it. I'll just give us some macro perspective. Friends, I think in any audit, understanding is business is key, more so in banking. As we don't do bank audits on a day in and day out, other than those people who are doing concurrent audits, but I think by and large, for doing bank statutory audits, do it once in a year. And so I think it's very important that we understand the business. Unlike other audits, we do on regular manufacturing, trading, etc., etc. Again, also since banking is dealing with money, the risk is the key element in this bank audit. Volumes are huge, and the transactions are huge. It's processing, and by and large, all this is real time as we speak. Most of the banks are on digital platforms, and it's a real time. It's not as if in manufacturing you do it purchase transaction, you may record it, whenever you want. Maybe in a smaller entities, in larger entities on ERP, but banking it has to be real time using technology. The transactions are recorded real time. And today, the banking industry is at the forefront of digital transformation. And as auditors, we must adapt to these advancements to enhance the quality, efficiency, and effectiveness of audit. So, the knowledge of technology is very essential if we are, sort of doing bank audits. The regulators like RBI, like SEBI, like ICAI Institute are constantly emphasizing the use of technology in the audits to strengthen governance, mitigate risks. Additionally, today now the board of directors are also increasingly looking at more in-depth, more data-driven insights from auditors and to ensure robust internal controls, regulatory compliances, and mitigation of fraud risks. So when we look at a bank audit, so there's a regulatory perspective on technology-driven audits. There is the technology advancement we are seeing. If you are knowing today buzzword, without AI, nothing can function. And I think we as a profession also, we have got a long way to go to harness. Institute is doing a wonderful job as far as AI is concerned, but we need to do huge work as far as adopting to the technological advancements. Then there are challenges in the implementation. If you harness technology, what are those challenges? And board expectations. I think my keynote, I will not talk too much on the board expectations because that will take too much time. But on the other factors which you discussed, I'll just deal a little bit. The regulatory perspective on technology in bank audits is first, I think it's huge as regards automation and system enhancement in the bank itself. So first, the regulator RBI wants the banks to adopt technology and system enhancement like nobody's business. And every day, even if you've got at a certain level, they want much better. Since we're dealing with public money. And that RBI expectation vis-a-vis auditors is encompassed in the RBI master directions on the risk-based, I would say, internal audits, which highlights the importance of technology, driven risk management, and emphasizing the use of data analytics for early warning signals in the banking operations. RBI has also introduced the automated early warning system. So we as auditors need to have a look at it. Technology-wise, is it proper, and which is being utilized to sort of detect fraud, stress, and the governance-related issues. Then on the reporting side, RBI has completely automated the compliance reporting. All the reports which go to RBI from the banks, such as CRILC, which is the Central Repository of Information on Large Credits. The complete risk-based supervision RBI is doing on technology. I think you'll be amazed, friends, if you know. And now see this, I'm speaking from a director's perspective. So as auditors, what we need to do, we need to understand the complete RBI supervision is technology-based right now. All the information goes on technology from next to RBI, and RBI supervises banks through technology. And most important, as we are impacted, the asset classification norms. Now, RBI wants us auditors and even the banks to see that the asset classification is done only by way of technology. There should be no manual intervention, so that there's no window dressing, no evergreening. So that also is very critical. They're emphasizing a lot in bank and NBFCs that there has to be system-based NPA recognition. So we need to understand technology to see whether whatever the banks or the NBFCs have done, whether that system is accurate, it's complete, and the integrity thereof, and even for the regulatory reporting which the companies are doing. And same thing is true, friends, for the internal financial control of financial reporting. We are, expected to assess the system-driven controls on core banking solutions and ensuring the compliance with liquidity coverage ratios, net stable funding ratios, Basel III norms, and provisioning requirements. So all this is, technology oriented. We need to understand technology and how to harness it. Coming to institutes, institute standards of auditing also encourage the use of CATs, as we call the computer-aided audit techniques, whether it's IDEA, whether it is ACL, or whatever other tools which you want to use for substantive procedures, for data testing, for fraud risk assessments. And the revised SA 315 on identifying assessing the risk of multi misstatement mandates auditor to consider IT controls while evaluating the design and implementation of internal control in banks. So that also is a reference of our institute. And the institute's implementation guide on data analytics for auditors provides insights into how we as auditors should use technology to extract, validate, and analyze the financial data. Friends, as we speak, we as a firm have been harnessing idea substantially in the bank audits, and I can tell you it is giving amazing results. Typically, what happens in banks, any software change, the technology person does it, and the UAT, as they call user acceptance test, is not holistic. And we have found gaps, of course, not material gaps but if we as chartered accountants apply our mind properly, we can see that we can always add value to the bank audit, is my view. And I'm telling you, despite so much automation in banks, we are still finding gaps in the automation, harnessing technology. We use IDEA and some other data analytics software. Coming to SEBI, SEBI's LODR regulations also require banks to have automated controls over financial reporting, related party transaction fraud detection. And even the FIU, which is the Financial Intelligence Unit, and the PMLA, which is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, we as auditors must evaluate the effectiveness of technology in anti-money laundering monitoring, including AI-driven transaction monitoring systems used by banks. So this, friends, was the regulatory gamut, if I can say so, SEBI, Institute, and I would say RBI, which is the most critical, and the FIU and the PMLA. Then we come to, we as a key technology, what are the technology tools available for reshaping bank audits? And Dungar, you will talk more about it, but from a broad perspective, I think we as auditors need to understand core banking. That is very important because most of the banks are on core banking. So it's not possible, assuming some bank is having Finacle, you cannot say we don't understand Finacle and still we do the audit. So understanding whichever core banking system is there is very important. Second, friends, the time for the audit is very minimal. For example, the statutory audit of branches, we have got 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, whatever it may be. Hence, harnessing technology and more so AI, which Dungar is going to speak, is absolutely essential. Without that, we'll not be able to do justice to the audit. So what does technology do? So data analytics and AI, which will enable us to do a larger, sampling, full population, audit instead of just sampling. It will help us detect patterns in fraud in loan disbursement, in forex transactions, treasury operations. Then the robotic process automation that will help us, automate repetitive tasks such as testing of journal. We use a software data snipper for some of these matters in the manufacturing side, which can also be harnessed for journal, entry testing. Then the reconciliation, we can use bots for reconciliation, and the validation of compliance also we can use AI. So what will happen is this will reduce human intervention and ensure better accuracy. I will not speak about blockchain, which is still nascent, and smart contracts, but that also is an area where which will help us, improve on the technology-based auditing. Then again, cloud computing and remote audits. Thanks to cloud computing, now most of the audits can be done, on a continuous basis. It can be done on a remote manner. One need not be at the site, so that also is an added technology advantage which we have. What are the challenges and the way forward vis-a-vis using technology? In the audit? One is the data privacy. I think with increased use of technology, safeguarding audit data is critical, whether it's cyber security risk, etc. Then the most crucial challenge which we have is the skill gap amongst us. We need to upgrade our level of how do we harness technology. So which I think we'll learn more from Dungar. Resistance to change is a human tendency. We don't change. And I can just give my own example. When COVID happened, one of my colleagues was using Microsoft Teams and said it's a very good software for audits. I was listening, but till the time it is thrust on you, you don't do it. The moment COVID, we had a voluntary shutdown, and we adopted Teams like butter. Since it was forced on us, till that time it's good to do, we don't do. But till the time it's forced on you, I think that's we need to. So the resistance, it's a human tendency. The lack of standardized digital audit frameworks which are there, we need to have uniform guidance from the, I would say, institute, from SEBI, on the adoption of technology in audits. Then there'll be uniformity across. So what's the way forward for all of us, friends? Upskilling and capacity building. We must invest in training ourselves and our teams in AI, in data analytics, in blockchain, and in RegTech. And on the regulatory adoption, I think Reserve Bank and ICAI should provide more structured guidelines on technology adoption in audits. In the sense, how do we harness technology in doing it? And Integration of continuous audit, moving towards real-time audit assurance instead of period. That's the way forward, in my view. In conclusion, friends, technology is no longer an enabler. It's now a necessity in bank audits. Regulators expect auditors to integrate advanced digital tools into their processes, while boards demand deeper data-driven insights into banking risks. By embracing AI, data analytics, blockchain, and cloud-based audit techniques, we can enhance our audit effectively, ensure compliance with the regulatory frameworks, and reinforce stakeholder confidence in the whole auditing profession, which is, I think, at the low ebb right now. And all of us need to sort of work together to see that the stakeholder confidence increase. As auditors, we must redefine our role by leveraging technology for risk assessment, fraud detection, and governance assurance to safeguard the integrity of the India's banking system. So let's embrace the transformation of technology and lead the future of digital bank audits with precision, integrity, and excellence. Thank you. Thank you, Virag. You're on mute, huh, Virag?
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful deliberation and important aspect and the adoption of technology. So we are very grateful to you, sir. You join and address the attendees, and sir, whatever we can say about you is less of or sort of words for entire profession, sir. So with
Thank
this,
you.
I would like to now introduce our WRC chairman, sir, in a very brief. So, Ketan Saiya sir, for sir, profession first is not just a motto; it's his mission. A visionary leader, mentor, and powerhouse of transformation. He is redefining the CA profession with his unwavering commitment and forward-thinking approach. Sir, as a chairman of WRC, has spreaded a game-changing initiative. I can see so many initiatives setting a new benchmark for excellence. His leadership journey includes pivot role as a treasurer in 2023-24 and Vikasa chairman 22-23, where he empowered young professional and strengthened the CA fraternity as well. Sir, as a managing partner at KDS and Company, has built an exceptional reputation in audit, taxation, and advisory, with a specialized focus on bank audit, ensuring financial accuracy, compliance, and risk management. Having worked closely with the greatest mind in the profession, sir is now lead from the front, guiding auditors to embrace technology, AI, and data analytics to enhance bank audit and financial reporting. So, under his leadership, WRC is not just evolving but revolutionizing the profession as well. With this word, would request everyone to welcome him. A warm virtual welcome for Ketan sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Virag, thank you so much for your kind words and attendees. Virag is a good friend, so please discount whatever he said. That's like what Nilesh bhai said. There were multiple reasons for me to join. Number one, Virag, I took over on 25th, and Virag was here perhaps same night here or on the 26th probably, and he had a list of suggestion. And thanks to the people like Virag, we are able to have so much new ideas we are implementing and just sitting and doing an execution with the support of all the seniors like Nilesh sir. Second reason to join this webinar, I saw him as a chief guest, the person under whom I learned entire auditing and bank audit and everything. So that was the reason. Third, Dungar, we met for a very short while, but a fantastic personality. Together, we were traveling from Surat to Bombay as a co-speaker in one of the bank audit seminar, and that's where we got introduced to each other. Again, a fantastic personality. All these three persons are very, very hardworking, down to earth. That was the whole thought process. I said, if these people are there, let me join the bank audit. And of course, last but not least, the subject. It was very close to my heart. Again, talking on a bank audit for various years. So I think very good initiative. Connect Easy has been, organizing a lot of good seminars. So congratulations, Virag, for this support to the professionals. by organizing a lot of good events for the members, which you have been doing for years. So heartiest congratulations and thank you for doing this on a continuous basis. uh, of course, topic technology. I think I also need to learn from Dungar Chandji. Not to talk about technology. I think we don't have any choice, as rightly told by Sir. There's no alternative about technology, but one must keep in mind that we need to apply our mind on the subject itself. So it's not that I need technology. I need to know bank audit properly. The major problem is happening with the vis-a-vis professional is, number one, short time which is available to us. The regulators have given few days and we are supposed to look at the volume of the data. That's where we need to use technology, as Sir rightly said, to find out the various different trend. But hardcore knowledge of bank audit is must, and that will come. We have guidance note. That's the major publication of ICAI, updated on a timely basis every year. So that is a book which is must with you in bank audit. Second, I will talk about the WIRC publication. There's a handbook of bank audit, which is again a very small book of 100 pages, which we have been publishing at Western India Regional Council every year. This is another book which is very handy, and you want to quickly see some practical aspect of the bank audit, you can have. First time ever in the WSC's history, we published one book by CA Ketan Saiya on CBS. Now, the entire rationale was, of course, the technology. As we know, without technology today, to complete audit in a few days is not possible. And we were finding a lot of feedback from member that how do we support them on this, and that's where this publication of CBS comes into play. Now friends, PDICI has been hosting an online panel wherein you send them a query of bank audit, and within 24 hours they send reply in writing to you. Similarly, from Western India Regional Council, from tomorrow onwards, for 2 hours we will have online Zoom session. Of course, we have received a lot of queries in advance. We will deal with them first, and then time permitting, the other queries we will take up immediately online. And this session, online session, will go on from 4th April, that is from tomorrow, till 10th April. And last but not least, I request all of you that kindly go to the website of Western India Regional Council, kindly try and follow the WRC WhatsApp channel, so that you will get all the information on a timely basis and you stay connected with the Western India Regional Council. We have been putting a lot of initiative, a lot of programs are being planned. Just one last but not least, the important initiative of WIRC is a series called Bhagyodaya. Day after tomorrow we are launching that. Of course, the honorable past president Nilesh sir himself is one of the speaker. He is going to talk about the growth strategies for the CA firm. I have two personality like Nilesh sir and Jigar Saiya. Of course, not related to me. Jigar is part of BDO. These two people themselves have experienced and transformed their firm from a small or a medium sized practice. Today KKC is probably in top 10 of India's firm, and you name the big company and they are the auditor or they are the consultant or they are the support to those companies. And I have seen, in 91 to 94, it was a small mid-sized firm where we did articleship. So the thought came that, the SMP need such people who can share their life story. They can give you the growth strategies. They can give you the tips that how do you, come out of small and medium-sized practice, or how do you grow your practice. And these two gentlemen, have actually done it in their life, and they have, created the big firm, big CA firm in a different strategies. The obviously Khimji Kumarji and company, now KKC, has got a different kind of functioning, style of functioning. Further, there are a lot of merger and network guidelines, and we have Sandeep Welling, partner Kirtane Pandit. He's going to talk about the aggregation of firm, merger, demerger, and all those networking of firms. Followed by this, we are going to have almost 16 sessions. Now, what are these sessions? They will be on Saturday and Sunday, and the session will be opportunities in valuation, opportunities in FEMA, opportunities in international taxation, teaching as a profession. And who are the speakers? Speakers are the speakers who are worthy. They have achieved, for example, valuation. You name big valuations, Sujal Shah must be part of it. teaching, we have seen, J.K. sir has been, the teacher for several years. Uh, each subject you pick up, you will see that the person who has actually proved himself worked on this, what are they going to do in their session? It's not only in 1 hour or 2 hour I can, ask them to teach the subject, but it is just showing us a path. Number one, they will talk about their life journey in 20 to 30 minutes. They will talk how they did, why did they specialize in those area, how did they grow, what were the strategies. They will tell us that is there any course to be done, how will we go if you want to go in those areas, be it system audit, be it FEMA, be it international taxation, be it RERA. N number of areas are there. You can go to the website and see. We have first time ever kept a consolidated fees which is below cost for the new members enrolled after 1/4/2024, so that if they are coming into practice and they want to specialize and they want to choose any area, they can go and attend this 16th session and then decide that okay, I will go in this area, or I want to specialize in this area along with my SMP. So that was the thought process. Of course, n number of initiative, but we are all eagerly waiting to hear from Dungar Chanji. So not taking your much of time, but stay connected with the Western India Regional Council. We are here to serve all the student and member in a better way with everybody's support of all the senior and friends like senior like Nilesh sir and friend like Virag. We are here to serve the members and the student of Western India Regional Council 24/7. Thank you so much once again, Virar, for having me invited and allowing me to talk to all the members. Thank you, Dungar Chanji. Thank you, Nilesh sir, for always being helpful in the council activities.
Thank you so much. It's absolutely our pleasure, sir. Despite of your busy schedule, you have given us your time and addressing all the attendees, and all the initiative are awesome, sir. And what you told Bhagyodaya series is also a personal favorite of mine, because I am also uh, uh, attending. I already registered, and it's also very near to my house also. So it's basically a benefit for me as well. So it's a personal my favorite. Would request everyone to take that benefit. It's one of the great initiative by WRC, and Chairman sir. I also recommended this in 2008, long back during Sandeep sir's chairmanship, but finally it's implemented in Ketan sir's time. Thank you once again, sir, for all the initiative, all the new initiative. And now I would like to introduce our today's speaker, CA Dungarchan Jain sir. He is known as a technology man of our profession. Sir is a visionary leader who has seamlessly blended finance, technology, and innovation. A past chairman of SIRC of ICAI, he has led several technology-driven initiatives, ensuring that chartered accountants stay ahead in the digital era. As the managing partner of PSDY and Associate, with offices across Chennai, Madurai, Cochin, Bangalore, and Pondicherry, Sir has built a legacy of excellence in practice, leadership, and mentorship. Sir's contribution extend beyond ICAI, having been actively involved in prestigious committee like our own Bombay Chartered Accountant Society and the Regional Direct Tax Advisory Committee, mainly a technology committee of those as organization. And what truly inspired him apart his unique ability to write with the both the hands simultaneously. So we have seen in the past on our platform as well, Sir can write with the both hands simultaneously, a skill that reflects his extraordinary intellectual and adaptability. Sir, before we begin, we request to show this remarkable talent to all of us, and after that we can see the technology session on bank audit. So with this, let's give a grand virtual welcome to one and only our Dungar Jain sir. Thank you, sir.
So at the outset, let me thank Virag for giving me an opportunity to interact with you on this bank audit seminar, and also share a platform with Nilesh Bhai and Ketan. In fact, Nilesh sir, when I was in the regional council, I know him, and a true leader who kinds of thinks and breathes institute and for the members. And Ketan, very short interaction, but I think when there is like-mindedness, the connect is longer actually. And though I know him for a very limited period, but it's like I know him for ages. That is the connect we were able to develop on a very, very small visit from Surat to Bombay, actually. So pleased, and as everybody has stressed that technology is the buzzword, without compromising on the basics or traditional methods, you have to use technology to make your life easier, actually. As rightly put out by Ketan, if you don't know the basics, then technology cannot help you at all. You know what things have to be done, how it has to be done, then you can apply technology and take benefit out of it. So Virag, I don't have both things, but I'll show in one hand actually, and maybe wish the Connect Easy platform the all the best. I'm writing the mirror image. Okay. 1 second. I will go for the normal mode. Wishing Connect DC all the best. This I've written in the mirror image, but what you're able to see is the real image actually. So without much ado, we'll get into things what I have planned for. Generally, the session is for 2-3 hours, but I think when it is online, you cannot listen to more than 1, max 2 hours. So I'll try to make things simple, and few things are self-explanatory, which I would like not to spend much time upon. Of course, there are always other modes where we can help out. It is just not me who is helping out. There are various other experts who can help you out to close things. So first, I'll share my screen. Is the screen visible? Virag, can you confirm?
Dungarchandji's screen is visible, and
Yeah.
Virag, Dungarchandji, and Nilesh sir, I'll take a leave. I've got one meeting, so thank you so much once again, Dungarchandji and Virag, and I'll see in between if you can. I can hear. I'll hear. Thank you so much.
Please.
Yes, sir.
I'll
Visible,
also
sir.
leave after some time. I'm there to at least learn a little bit, and then I'll also leave for another meeting. But I'm there till I can. Yeah. Thank you.
Honored, sir. Honored. Honored.
Yeah.
The screen is visible, right, Virag?
Yes, Dungar, it's visible. Only
Okay.
thing, it's very
Okay.
small. I don't know
So
whether we can
I
do
want
full.
everybody to copy this link because I'm not able to see my video when the screen is on. That's okay. If it's not working, Virag, either you'll have to tell on the screen or call me and tell, because I will not know if there is
Yes,
even
sir.
a
Yes, sir.
disconnection
Screen is
actually.
visible, sir.
Visible, visible. It is
So this is the link I
bit.ly.
want everybody to note down: bit.ly/bankauditdc 2025. This will take you to one of the Google Drives where I've tried to put all things which are relevant for the bank audit at one place actually. So what does it contain? I'll just run it. Like to show what is inside to save time. It contains our latest guidance note on bank audit issued by ICAI, the RBI master circulars, the RBI master directions. These are around 33 number. RBI master directions are around 76, and then all the notifications, FAQs, and general circulars, which are thousands in numbers. Apart from that, the standards on auditing which are applicable is given as a folder separately. I have also covered the same in the Excel sheet, which is going to work like a template, as well as for the documentation what you are going to do the work. One of the material on practical referencer for the statutory bank audit by SIRC, and then few contents which are come in ICAI journal or ebooks which can help you. Of course, today we are on 3rd April. It will not be possible for you to go through the entire thing, but wherever you need a quick reference, instead of looking for things here and there, you can always refer this Google Drive. And then I will try to even share the other speakers' contents. Ketan was mentioning about the Kuntal Shaw's material, where one of the materials is also being put out on the bank audit, including one on documentation and IRAC norms. And then a Finacle related stuff, and the raw data which we are going to work upon. It contains a cash balance file, few comments how you can use ChatGPT, and then the loan balancing file where we need to sort the data. And the last one, okay, the 17th file will be Connect EC, not yet uploaded. I'll upload it once the session is over, which will contain a master bank audit control sheet. It starts with this, and this contains a small link for your ChatGPT also, where if you're having the paid version, you can actually go and ask questions relating to ChatGPT. So now that the bank audit GPT is enabled, I can ask questions. Can you give me the NPA norms for ODCC accounts? And you can see it is searching my knowledge, which means it is just not going and finding things from the internet, but it is going and finding things from the data which I have uploaded. And since the guidance note on tax audit, the bank audit has been uploaded, it is telling very clearly that based on the guidance note and the RBI circulars which have got uploaded, these are the norms. So for you, where it may be practical difficult to search one of the particular item in the guidance note, you can take help of this. You may ask, sir, there is already a PDF file available. I can always make a search there. What is the problem? The problem when you search the PDF file is there is a possibility that the same verbatim is not there actually. So when the same exact wordings are not there, your PDF will fail. So it becomes easy for me if I take the help of ChatGPT. Now a very important question when the moment I have started discussing about ChatGPT. There are a lot of data which I have to crunch or I have to use it either through the bank system or through my own system. Is it safe or acceptable that I upload the data in the ChatGPT? Can somebody give me some answers in chat? Whether it is okay for me to upload the data in ChatGPT? I'll be happy if I get one or two answers. And I presume chat is permissible. Or maybe in questions you can put, if there is no permission available for you to put in chat. Okay, chat is not enabled. Can somebody tell in questions whether it is okay if I upload the bank's data to ChatGPT? Is there any
Sir,
problem?
so question tab is only the chat box. So people can post in
Okay.
the question tab as in chat box.
Yes, don't use the chat, you may use the question box. So somebody says rightly, I think it is a no, sir. You're right, because the moment I put the data, if there anything, I mean, there's any data leak which ChatGPT is getting exposed to, I can land me into trouble, because for any audit, including the bank audit, I signed a confidentiality agreement telling that I will not share the data to anybody. So how do I take care of that? So whenever you're going to use the bank's data or where you want to do the analysis, please do it anonymously, which means do not put the name of the bank. Like if you have a data file, remove the name of the bank or other confidential information. Then based on the anonymous information which is available, you try to put it and then get the answer actually. So I'll run you through things which are there in the sheet, which will act as a guidance for you to do the audit and as well as create the documentation parallelly. First, very important thing, whenever you are downloading any files from the bank, you may be given a choice of downloading it as a text file or an Excel file. In those cases where you have choices, please download that in Excel file itself so that your data crunching becomes easy and the formatting is proper and you don't have to spend much time into it. Where the system doesn't permit you to download in text file, Excel file, then you may download it as text file. Number two, where there is a choice between downloaded files available at the system or downloading the files yourself, please download the files yourself. I'm not telling that the data could have been manipulated or changed. There is a possibility that somebody would have downloaded, did some review, and few items would have got modified. So to be safe and to ensure that you are having the data sanctity, please ensure that you download the files yourself and then start working on those files. Third, very importantly, of all the work what we do, documentation is the most important thing. Many a time we have seen people do wonderful job when it comes to documentation, they don't maintain it. So the moment documentation is not there, the assumption is that you have not did the work actually. So spending time on documentation will help you to tomorrow demonstrate the regulators that I did the work correctly, and these are the things which I'm having the data of or details of. Fourth, definitely do go with the audit program, and I've put one in this schedule also. Of course, few more things are to be updated, so maybe when I upload the Excel file after the end of the session, you will have the audit program also completed. And whatever I'm going to cover today is only to strengthen your concepts. There can be another way of doing it, things, or multiple way of doing things. It is only to tell you how you can do things. The most important report in bank audit is LFAR, long form audit report, and almost all the points, whatever you are doing, technology can be used in a small or big way, and you can also try to maintain the documentation for you to answer any of the questions which are asked in LFAR. Seventh, whenever you are picking the samples, be it 5 top samples or be it top 10 samples, depending on each category, ensure that the current year loans or deposits are also forming part of your samples. Many a time we have seen we pick samples, but then we miss the current samples actually. So ensure that your sampling is scientific as to pick the top 5 or top 10 cases, including the loans of the current year also. Maybe you can add few loans over and above that, or within that 5 or 10, ensure that there are 1 or 2 loan samples which are sanctioned during the current year or deposits given during the year. And few other things, don't go for a new laptop or a new system during the audit, and don't change settings in the system which might create trouble for you or hinder the work actually. So it is advisable that you have the system settings intact which you are used to, and also with the same laptop, because the keystrokes and other things, if it change, it may hamper your working. And last but one, there is no single way to get things done. Whatever tricks or tips I'm telling you, it is only one way of doing it. There can be 2-3 better ways or roundabout ways, but you are comfortable with. Please feel free to do whatever you are comfortable with. Only thing is, use the one which saves your time, because the most difficult part in a bank audit is to complete things within the stipulated time. And last one, don't forget to take backups of whatever you are doing. We have seen many a time the file gets corrupted or data gets lost, and then we struggle to redo the work again, which is a colossal waste of time. So please ensure that you have regular backups of what you are working. Probably the Excel file which you are working, please send a mail to yourself. My suggestion will be to have a sync with your OneDrive or Google Drive. The moment you open the file and close it, it should automatically get uploaded to the cloud, so that the retrieval becomes easy. One. Second, if anybody from your office also wants to access, he gets the latest version of the file rather than you sending it to them and then they later working on it. So next slide is on the standards on auditing. I given 2 links, the links of the ICAI as well as the alternate links. You click that, and wherever you need to refer, you can go for it. Since bank audits would have already started, there won't be time to go through it. One of the way how you can use it to save time or to get quick answers is upload the PDF in ChatGPT and then ask questions it will be able to give, or select the URL and give the reference in ChatGPT. For example, this is my agreeing the terms of engagements. So I'll say act as a bot for this file, PDF file. So it says it is going to act as a bot and what it contains. So I'll say, can you give me a draft engagement letter and also highlight 5 important key points I should be taking. So based on the standard, it is able to give you a of course I have put an engagement letter in the folder itself for you to see. This is very elementary, and you can always interact with ChatGPT telling that no, this is not what I expected. Why don't you kind of give me an elaborate one? So other 5 points to take care: preconditions for an audit, clear understanding of the engagement, recurring audits needing reconfirmation, no misunderstanding about the objective, and proper documentation and signature. Now, though I have asked a generic question, I can ask a very specific question also by uploading the PDF if I am able to know that this is a standard which is dealing in. Of course, Institute has come with a lot of GPTs on its own, which is also I have put in one of the drives where you can refer that and make use of it, telling that any question I have on standards on auditing, it can get me the reference standard on auditing and tell me the issue or the way I should deal with whenever there is an issue I encounter. Next is your KYC. As chartered accountants, we are supposed to know your client, and it is better we capture the information, because after a few months when you want to go back on things, we feel we don't have those information at all, because one, it is scattered or lying here and there. So to the possible extent, try to capture the information in one place so that it is easy for you to kind of look back or talk back to the manager if there is any issue you want to talk to. So I've captured some of the information. Feel free to add any rows or columns which you are comfortable. And what I've tried to did additionally is, the moment you type something like say Mumbai main branch, the color changes to green. It's a small conditional formatting effect I've given to show that these are the areas are completed and there are yellow shades which are pending actually. Followed by the partners or the proprietor handling the audit, the team assisted by, and very importantly, the audit commencement date and the audit completion date, and who reviewed the work actually. So next information is on the attendance, because many banks require a small certificate like this telling that before you leave, you get this, that the manager signs that these are the dates which have been taken by the team. So you can write the partner's name. So I'll say Virag, Ramesh, Ketan, and then the articles actually. Raj, Virag. So the moment I put attendance for people when they have attended the audit, it also helps me for my peer review records or to know how many mandates have gone into the audit. You can see that this is actually ready here. If I select all and do a double click, give me that dates here. And for those who are interested in exploring how the answers have come, this is a small function I have given. So this function I wrote before ChatGPT came, and today things are easy. I can, one, ask ChatGPT and get the Excel function. Two, if I know the Excel function, I can ask ChatGPT what this function is all about. And you can see it will beautifully explain what I have written in the formula, telling that it is going to look for information from C6 to O6, what has been put as Y, and based on that it is going to capture the dates and write the attendance. And line break, I use one function known as CHAR open bracket 10, which is nothing but an alternative formula for the alt enter which we use in Excel. So it says if you are doing this often, we can even help you to create a VBA function, which I don't want in this case. I'm happy with the functions, I mean the formulas. Then here is your requirement or the audit program, broadly covering all the things. Few things already we have put in some sheets, but to see that it is being taken care, I try to put in the requirements. As I told you, there are few more things which I wanted to add. So I'm not sharing the sheet immediately, but once those are added, I'll be sharing it in a while. The one which are using it older will not have this audit program. So please pick the one recently which I'll be uploading it, and then a small area of who has covered or who has been assigned the role and what is the extent of check wherever applicable has to be captured. The next question, sir, whether a letter of communication to a previous audit is must? Yes. Any audit you do, though the RBI appoints the statutory auditor of a bank, a letter of communication to the previous audit is a must. And in today's scenario, it is enough even if you send by email. Only thing is, the moment you are sending it by an email, please ensure that you get a reply back from the email. That is very important. If you, for any reason, you are not able to get a reply, you are not able to talk to the person, he has not replied or he has not responded to the email, please have proper documentation with you, because tomorrow if there is any allegation that no, I was not communicated, you can always prove to the institute by telling them, sir, these are the mechanisms I tried, and in spite of all my efforts, I was not able to get a confirmation from him. The next is on the other audits. Before the other audits, you must also know that don't take the cash shortages lightly. If the cash shortages identified by the management is up to rupees 5,000 and by you it is 10,000, then those have to be classified as frauds actually. So please ensure that if the cash shortages have not been reported and they are continuing, or they've been reported after a long time, they come under the definition of fraud. Ensure that all the due procedure which are required have been followed. If it is not followed, it is your duty to make note of it and see that those complaints are being done. Most of the branches will be subject to concurrent audit because they are wanting us to do the branches considering bigger advances. So capture the name of the firm which is doing the audit, the complaints and the revenue leakages, and I have prepared a small summary for the last 3 months, December, January and February, capturing the KYC advances, physical verification, documentation and revenue leakage and others. You can add columns or other rows if you want to. If the branch has been subject to an RBI audit, make note of things here. The branch definitely would have been subject to one internal inspection where you can capture the information, and this internal inspection report will be a good file for you to plan your audit actually. There's a spelling mistake for internal here, I'll correct it. Because this will help you to know where the weak areas are there for the branch, and based on that you can spend more time while you are performing the audit as to the anomalies which have been observed in this internal inspection report. Then do not ignore the preceding year statutory audit report, including the LFAR and other certificates, because whatever work has been done by the previous auditor will give you a hint of what has gone into the branch and what kind of branch you are dealing with actually. So please ensure that that is also properly read. Make those observations here. What are the points given there, which again you will be able to demonstrate that I went through the report, because practically it might not possible for me to take the entire copies of the concurrent audit reports or the LFA or the preceding year audit reports. I can only take limited copies. So make observations or make remarks as to that you have gone through the audit actually. And very importantly, if MOC has been passed in the preceding year, ensure there is a compliance report. Check whether the entries have been entries put in MOC have been passed or not. If they have not been passed, it becomes your responsibility to add in your current MOC, and those also get added to your current year's MOC if at all you are adding it. The information which are captured in the IS audit if the branch has been subject to, revenue audits if the branch has been subject to, stock audits. If there are borrowings for more than 5 crores, RBI has made it mandatory to get a stock audit done, and in those cases ensure that the stock audit reports are available and go through if there are any negative observations made there, and what is the follow-up action taken by the branch. I think there is a legal verification audit also compulsory the moment the advance size is more than 5 crores. That also needs to be verified. The branch would have got some forensic audits done for its clients. Even those can be produced if there are any. And for few of these things, you can only know if the branch management tells you that these are the audits which are carried out. And there is a point in LFR also telling that how many points of the audits are there which have been carried for the branch. So please don't forget to get a management representation, because if there is any report which the branch management has failed to tell you, it is our responsibility to tell that we relied on the branch management representation telling that these are the audits were only done and we only went through those reports. If they have given that these are the audits which are done, then it becomes our responsibility and duty to peruse those reports and see that we go through those reports and then frame our audit report upon that. The branch would have been subject to a credit audit report or a cash and currency checks verification. Capture those information. If the branch is subject to some other audit or special audit, do capture that. And very importantly, there may be some key correspondences which would have happened between the branch and the regional office or the circle office or even the head office. Please capture those information also and see that those also have been properly complied. A small tracker on the certificates. All certificates what you issue, please have a proper note of it, and then the information what you require to issue the certificate is received or not, and your remarks or observations if any. This can be an excellent documentation for you to see that you don't miss out any important things actually. So any report, any certificate you sign, please see that it forms part of the tracker here, so that it'll be easy for you to know what you have performed and what is pending actually. And when you are generating UDIN, ensure that you give a covering letter stating that these are the certificates I am placing my signatures on with the UDIN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because tomorrow you can always tell that I only signed on these documents and nothing beyond. So ensure that you prepare a covering letter and give the list of the certificates when you are giving it to the branch management. This is a small sheet to capture the physical verification of cash, which we do on the randomly on the day, one of the days we are doing the audit, as to whatever the currencies, note down, see that that is tallying with the cash register physically maintained if any, or with the Finacle or the software which the bank is using. And of course, we recently saw one of the cooperative banks which had a fraud of around 144 crores because they have done away with a lot of physical records and they were only having records online. I'm not telling physical, the records must be maintained. Ensure that whatever is there as per the bank policy is done or not. If it is not done, please give your observations in the LFAR or at the appropriate places. If the branch is having ATM subject to under its purview, capture those information also. And don't forget to capture the dual custodians, that who were the one who were holding the keys of the cash, the name and the designation. Also ensure that the names are properly updated in the key movement register as well. The branch is subject to late cash, capture those information also. And lastly, for this point, the periodic verification done by whom also must be captured here. Of course, we do the audit, but when it comes to recording of things, we generally miss out. So ensure that you capture this information as well. If the branch is having a ATM under its purview, we have given a small test description. You can tell who verified, what is the time of verification, review, and based on the observations, you can make note if there are any. This is branches which are having jewel loans or gold loans. Capture the basic information, and I'm very sure you need to do a reconciliation, because till Now I have not seen any branch where the number of account holders and the jewel packs will tally, and there will be genuine reasons also they will have. Like you will see a lot of nil balance accounts. One, they may be wrongly opened. There may be other reasons. Third, the money would have got paid, but the jewel packs would not have been taken. Because today, a lot of things happen online or somebody else makes the payment and goes. There are chances that the loan have got closed, but the packs are not, packs are lying in the branch. Please have a proper reconciliation. The branch management must be able to give explanation from the number of accounts which are holding physically to the one which is maintained in the CBS. And my suggestion will be to verify few samples based on the weight, which you can ask the current appraiser also to check if the weight is matching with the items given there. Also the quantity. Say if the description is there that there are 2 items of a gold chain and a ring, ensure that the quantity is available when you are verifying it. And very importantly, you also have to do a purity check. Sir, whether I have to do a purity check, I'm not an expert. No, you don't have to do. You can ask for the appraiser from the nearby branch to come on one day and then pick some samples and give it to them and see that purity is there intact or not. Randomly for at least 1 or 2 cases to see that you have did a test check. And if the branch has got machines to check today, there are new age machines available, spectrometers. If they're available, then I don't think so you have to call any appraiser. You can satisfy yourself as to whether the purity is there or not. Then the physical stationery, the way the DDs, pay orders, FD receipts, checkbooks are being handled at the branch. Ensure that there is a register which captures things. Even if it is not maintained for last few days, ensure that during the course of the audit things are updated so that tomorrow it doesn't land us into trouble as to why things were not maintained earlier. The details of the dual custodians, details of missing stationery if any, missing tokens, and then the details of the postal stamps, revenue stamps and stamp papers, because the balances which are there form part of your balance sheet, and ensure that that gets tallied actually. Do capture the information now with regards to lockers. Ensure lockers information is captured in the CBS. If it is not forming part of CBS, you can give a note in your LFR telling that the operations of locker are not captured in the CBS. And ensure that the master keys recording is also properly done in the key movement register, and do check for the vacant lockers. I still recall in one of the banks we found that they were not able to locate a key for the one of the vacant lockers, and then later we came to know that that was actually handed over to one of the customers, and the account could not get open for some other reasons actually. So a lot of things which may come to light when you do your verification properly, that will also speak about the internal control the branch is exercising over its affairs. The capturing of information on bank guarantees and letter of credits, that also let it be captured here to see that you are verified. And very importantly, ensure a test is done between the bank guarantees so as to whether it is performance guarantee or financial guarantee, because any change if it is there, it will undergo a change in the provisioning norms at the head office. So please ensure that there is a proper classification of the bank guarantees as well. Next, your cash retention. There is a point in LFAR telling that, one second, whether the branch generally maintains or carries cash balances which vary significantly from the limits fixed by the controlling authorities of the bank. I still recall before technology came, the answers used to be very generic. Based on test check, we find the branch generally maintains or does not maintain. Now, how can I place an opinion just by seeing 5 or 10 days of the entire year? But today with technology around, it is possible that I do the complete workings, and I've tried to give a sample raw data. I'll just open the file and show it to you. So this is a text file which I'm having for cash balances maintained for the year. I'll do Control C, go to this file and Luckily, the figures are coming with additional information. I'll try to sanitize the data quickly so that we can do an analysis and give a meaningful answer rather than giving a generic answer. So I'll remove the unnecessary rows first. Remove the unnecessary columns next. Change the heading. Say cash balance. I select the entire range by using Shift Control Enter and apply the filter. I can use the shortcut or go to data and say filter. By clicking that, I've got the filter. I'll again remove the unnecessary columns. And one way of doing it is I can sort it by oldest to newest, where I get the data in an order. And then what I can do, I can remove the ones which are below, not read it, is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is I can deselect everything and select the ones which I don't want. Then select the entire data which I don't want. And when you do that, cross check whether things are required, should not form part of this. Then do a right click and say delete row. So now I have got the entire range. Now I'm just seeing a small observation that there is a minus symbol beforehand. Now I need to remove this minus symbol. One way of removing minus symbol is using the Excel function ABS equal to ABS open bracket close bracket. After that, go to the data on the bottom right, do a double click. I'll get the data without the minus symbol. Another way of doing it is selecting the data and multiplying it by -1. That will also give me the maintained data. Another way of doing it is type -1, do a control C, select the data and do a right click, paste special and say multiply. You can see that has got removed, the minus has got removed. One way of doing it. Another way of doing is the find and replace, either by using Control F or Control H. When I type Control H, I can always say please replace minus with nothing. This also replaces. So now to remove a simple minus symbol, I've shown you 1, 2, 3, 4 techniques. Whichever you are comfortable, you can do. First was using the ABS function. Second was multiplying it by -1. Third was using, typing -1 and using paste special. The fourth one was using Control plus H. Of course, you can use Control F also, choice is yours. So there are multiple ways of arriving at an answer, whichever you are comfortable, you go ahead with it. So now I have got the data. I will hide things which are not required for the time being. Now, if you have one retention limit, you can straight away say retention limit. Say it is 5 lakhs. Then you can say equal to my actual balance is greater than 5 lakhs, or I use the if function equal to if open bracket my actual cash is more than the retention, then it is excess. Or I'll say exceeds limit. Where it is within the norms, I will say within limits. Within limit. Of course, I will use equal to also here. So the moment there is one answer, I got the answer. But see, the funny part, when you are using Excel, you have to be very careful, because when you drag, the formula gets changed dynamically. So what I should have did is I should have locked this 5 lakhs. That means I should have used F4 or typed manually dollar. I have got where it has got exceeded limits, and few places that are within limits, which are very less. Now I'll show you a scenario where there are two balances, the retention limits, where from 1st April to 18 January it was 5 lakhs. After that, the limit got changed to 40 lakhs. How do I take care of that? So I will say retention limit. Let me say cash balance. So I will say equal to, if this date is less than or equal to 19th, put 5 lakhs. If not, put 40 lakhs. Now I'll have to log this G3, which is putting F4. Let me cross check and see whether 19 January, what is the balance it is showing. 19 January is showing 5 lakhs, whereas it should be 40 lakhs. So now my formula is wrong. I should not have put the equal to. I can of course use the freeze panes option and I run through so that I know now it is right. So whenever you are using a formula, please do a cross check of what you have given and the result is right or not. Because if it is not going to be right, your answers will not be conveying what you want to convey. So now we'll say status equal to, if this is more than this, then you can say your cash balance is more than the limit, exceeding limit. Otherwise, within double quotes, within limit. So now what I will do, we'll try to create a small table as to know how many days it has exceeded the limit. So I will say exceeding limit and I will say within limit. We will now use a countif function equal to countif open bracket range. Range is H7 shift control down arrow, comma, this is my criteria. I will log this cell so that if I'm going to drag down, this data will not change. Control C, Control V. Here automatically the formula is taken within limit. There are 40 days, 25 days. It is within limits. Alternatively, what I can do, if I know that these are the data which I require very frequently, I can first select this shift control down arrow, and here over this, what do you say, this ABCD, I can in this box say limit. Now what I can do is I can here say equal to count if open bracket. What is the name we gave? Limit. You can see the limit has come. Limit, comma, exceeding limit is what I want to find. I got the answer. Control D also. So there are two ways of doing it. One case I gave the formula with the reference of the cell. Here I was able to create a name for that particular set of data and get the answer. So alternatively, what I can do is I can even try to use ChatGPT and see if it is able to give me the answer. Go to the raw data, upload the. Of course, when you are doing this, as I told you in the beginning, do not uh, put the bank's name or the branch name or any information which is confidential. And now we'll ask the question telling that, can you please give me this information as an Excel file and remove all the minus symbol before the cash column. So it says cleaned file has been available. Let me just check if it contains the entire data. Okay, today we are lucky because my observation in the past has been that Excel stops with few line items and I have to tell again that we're going to do it for the entire items. So now that we have got all the line items, I will say, can you please, okay, we'll straight away now tell this is the cash retention limits. Telling that the cash retention limit is 5 lakhs from 1st April to 18 January and rupees 40 lakhs from 19 January. List down the number of days the cash retention exceeded the limit and number of days it is within the limits. And as ChatGPT is doing the work, let me tell you, please do not rely on these tools also because it is right 90% of the time, 10% of the time it is wrong as well. Today again we got the right answer that it is 340 days and 25 days. Now we'll do another analysis as to telling what was the maximum value or what was the maximum amount of cash the branch held and what was the minimum value the branch held using the min function. So here we got the max, we got the min, and let us use the average also. Average is average open bracket, select the entire range. Now I need to do a VLOOKUP. If I say VLOOKUP open bracket, this is my lookup value and is asking me the table array. I have to select this table array from this balance, but the date is on the left. So it is not possible for me to use a VLOOKUP unless this data column comes in this. So one way of doing is I will insert, copy this entire data here and then say equal to VLOOKUP open bracket, select this date, comma, this is going to be my table array. Shift side arrow, down arrow, comma, this is column number 1, this is column number 2. Looking into column number 1, I want the result from column number 2. So I will say 2, comma, 0. Did I get something wrong? Okay, because it is C and G, there are some hidden columns here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is in the fifth column. So I'll have to say 5. So now I will select this, go to home, press this type, or go to this general and say the date. So it is on 31st January, the maximum balance was there. On 22nd March, the minimum balance was there, and the average is this. So now for this point in LFAR, I can give a scientific answer. And let us see if ChatGPT is also helped me to give this answer. So I've told, can you provide the maximum cash balance, minimum cash balance, and the average cash balance? Do provide the date on which maximum and minimum cash balance was observed. You can see the same data has come. 12 crore 28 lakhs 3,913 on 31st January, 2 lakh 28,968 on 22nd January, and 1 crore 41 lakhs, which is exactly matching with the analysis what we have done. So what took us few minutes today with new age technology, it is possible for you to get answers. Of course, you need to cross check whether that is right or not. So same is the case with data sanitizing, but of course today most of the banks, they give the data which is Excel friendly. If for any reason you are not getting it, so I'll just quickly run you through how to use text to columns and do that. Select the data, take it to Excel. Now you can see everything has come in my case as the in a column only. And if I use the delimiter as space or slash, I'm not going to get the result. So what I'll have to do, as I told you, first I'll remove the headings. And then go to select the entire A column and say data text to columns. As I told you, I cannot use the delimiter because there is no specific character which segregates the data. You may say, sir, there is a space, why not to give a space and do it? The problem when I use space is the name. The name also has got a space and then things can be jumbled. Those who want to try, you can try yourself. You will see that by using delimiter, you will never be able to get it. So what I will do is now I'll say fixed with and say next. Now what I will do, I will try to slice the data. Serial number, old account number, new account number. And here is a slash, which I don't want from here to here. And these lines which are getting, if you don't want, you double click, it will go. So of course you can always tell, sir, can I put this in ChatGPT? Loan balancing file I will not advise because it contains a lot of information about the customer. It's not advisable that these files you put it in ChatGPT. So now I got a little bit of structured information. Let me just run through to see whether everything is right or not. Because if there is any data pilferage, then there can be trouble. So I'm lucky here, all the data are intact. Sometimes this 11.25 may come like this, 11 here and then 25 here, which is disastrous because one, my rate of interest is wrong, and second, the closing balance also can be wrong. So if that is the case, you have to be careful of the data pilferage which has happened, the data spillover which has happened. So I got it right. Now what I will do, I will go to the top, remove the unnecessary rows. Before that I can remove the columns now. Here if you see, there is a product code observation which is there. So I'll select the data, shift control and apply filter, and then first thing what I do is I'll pick the product code which I want because that contains the details of the product. And here you can see some hyphen, you can remove the equal to and give apostrophe. So to the possible extent clean the data then and there and then copy it. So I'll do a control C, insert as sheet, control V. Now I can remove the columns which I don't need. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Now the products are all lying in 1, 2, 3, 4 different spaces actually. So what I can do is I can use one function known as concat, which is available in MS 365 and above. CONCAT. I don't even have to manually tell one line. I can select a range and say OK and do a double click. You can see all the things have come. And now I'll do a paste special values. Control C, right click, sorry, right click, paste special values and remove it. So now this is my code of the product and this is the as a category or type of loan. So I know my branch has got these many different types of categories for the loan. So now I don't want these things because I've copied there. I'll remove these items. Another way, simple way of sorting is luckily this file has got serial numbers. So what I can do is I can say smallest to largest, then go to the last serial number. This branch had almost say 1570. All the lines which are below are not required. I can do a review and delete it. This is one way of doing it. No, I don't have a serial number, sir. How do I take care of that? Then what you can do is you can go select the item, deselect the items first, come to the last line. You can then select the ones which you don't want after the serial numbers. Now you can go through the line items. Of course, when you're going through, this is only a total I don't want. I'm doing a shift down arrow so that I can scroll through also to see if there is any information which might be required should not get deleted actually. I don't know, something is happening on its own. So to save time, I'll go from the bottom, shift control home and skip the first line because that is the header, and then do a right click. One second. some reason this is not coming. Let me select it manually, right click, delete. So now all the unnecessary columns have got removed and you can see the data has come. So now what I will do, we'll do a pivot. So I will say, or maybe we can put the pivot in the sheet itself where we have put the names. Insert pivot, select the data which is there in the data sanitizing sheet. Of course, we forgot to delete the columns. Let me go back. Remove the columns which I don't want, this B and C. Delete. I don't want this because customer code doesn't need a 0. I think that's this last one. There is count of 30. Let me check what the 30 has some 0 only. So I delete this as well. Now go to sheet 1. I delete this pivot. Insert pivot table. Shift control side arrow, down arrow. My entire data is selected. Okay. So now I'm bothered about the, okay. One thing which I missed again was this contains only account numbers and I will not be able to know the category of loan. So I need to pick the loan category. In this case, I know 603, this is whatever we picked here. 603 is vehicle loan, 619 is housing finance, 621 is trade loan. So what I will do now is I will try to get this information equal to mid open bracket equal to mid open bracket, select the text, comma, start number 1, 2, 3, 4. I want from the 5th letter. So 5, comma, how many number of characters? I need 3 letters. 1, 2, 3, close. Control C. So copy. Don't forget to put the heading for this product code. If you don't put this heading and it is blank, your pivot will show an error. So I'll go to sheet 1. I'll delete this pivot because I missed the product code. Go to insert pivot from table, select the range, and now click the product code and then the liability and name. I will drag and put it in values so that I get the number. So now you can see I've got category wise item here. If I don't want to disturb the pivot, I can right click, paste special values, and of course I will now try to do a category name equal to VLOOKUP open bracket, select this lookup value, comma, select this table, comma, of course I'll put F4. Comma 2, comma 0. You can see I've got an error because this is in number format and this is in text format. So what I have to do is either convert one of them into number or text so that both are equal. So I will do one thing here. Go put a comma. No, it has not got converted. This is number. No, still not done. Select the range. Select this and say convert to number. The moment I convert it to number, I have got the answers. Now you can see there are two categories. The numbers are available, but in the code it is not available. Later we found these are all discontinued categories, and since the new category did not have these numbers, it was continuing actually. And now what I have to do is do a reverse sorting, largest to smallest. So I know now grand total, I can ignore it of course. So my highest loan is this category which comprises of only, okay, now this I missed. My selection should be complete. Now I will save based on the sum of liability. So you can, yes, I can remove the last one. Gold loan is the maximum, which is 1428. Or if I had this grand total, I can know the percentage also, equal to this divided by this. And if I put in percentage, I'll put 2 decimals. So of my total advances, this category constitutes 78%. I should be spending more time here. The second one is housing finance, which is 7.2%. And now I need to know the 17 loans. I just double click the 17. You can see here the category has come. Now what I can do, I can go from largest to smallest and pick this as sample. Remarks, and maybe I'll pick these 3 as samples for my working papers. So now instead of picking things randomly or seeing 100%, which both are impractical, I can scientifically now do the analysis and then based my relay my audit evidence upon. And then my documentation can be done. My LFR will then capture the number of samples I have picked based on the workings I have did for these loans. Where there are loans restructured during the year, capture the information and ensure you spend a considerable time, because many times we have observed that the documentation is very weak and sometimes documents itself are not available. So please ensure that wherever there are loans restructured during the year, proper documentation from the borrower is there. Where there is a requirement for you to capture the details of the fixed assets, I put a small sheet where the information can be captured, including the date of purchase and the date put to use if there are any. When it comes to statutory audit, there is no specific requirement for us to get into the revenue leakage, but we may stumble upon something, or we would have got an area where some revenue leakage would have happened. In those cases, please prepare a summary of it to see that those things are captured and the money is also recovered before you leave the branch. There are 2 points in LFAR which says that whether you have did a test checking of the interest for loans as well as deposit. So you can pick certain loans. In this example, I picked one SB account. Of course, advances can be picked and you can give your remarks. SB account, we have seen that money got deposited on 17th February. Probably the account itself got opened on 17th February. And 31st March, there is an interest debit of 3 rupees. What we did manually was we just checked what is the difference between the dates from 31st March to 17th February. So it came to 42 days. and the rate of interest for SB was 2.9%. And the moment we applied the formula, we got 3.33, which rounded off to 3 rupees. Same thing, we were able to take a FD account and check, and that had a 3 different interest rates, and still we were able to get the answer right. As per our calculation, it was 56, 54, and 42, and we also got the same answer, 56, 54, and instead of 42 point something, it was 43. So though we know CBS is there, computers are there, everything is right, it is our duty to test check whether everything is right or not. Then if it comes to variance analysis, don't give a generic answer. Telling that after the balance sheet date and till date, whether there have been any unusual large movements in aggregate deposits. So here we have captured the information as at 31st March 25, capture the information as at 7th April, find the difference, and I've given a small formula to find the variance percentage. And here the 22% variance is current account, no problem. The overdue deposits undersaw a change, maybe the overdue deposits were taken care and the money was also small. We verified this. And then there was one other forex deposit where there was a 100% variance. So it was one of loan term deposit which got closed. The amount was not there. So there are no major variances. So we were able to conclude that things are fine. If there are major variances, don't forget to take the comments from the manager or the chief manager. Of course, better get it from the email so that there is a record of what he has given. Same is the case with the finding any divergent trends in terms of income and expenditure. Capture the information as to expenditure for the current year and income to the current year, and then compare it with the last year. And then we have given a small function telling that this minus this divided by the base, how much has been the deviation. So there is no much deviation, and here this deviation, though it showed 28%, that was due to the new business which got procured during the year, which we were able to satisfy after the discussion with the branch management. So next is to find which advances are large. So for which you have to have the total count of loans, the total count of the, not count the total liability of the ODCC accounts, and the total liability of the non-fund based. You total that, compare it with 10 crores, and here I've given a small function telling that equal to minimum of this total exposure into 10% or 10 crore, whichever is less. The minimum function will act as less, and now it is able to tell me that 8 crore 49 lakhs 89,000 are the value cutoff, beyond which any loan is there, it will qualify as large advance. Anything below will be a normal advance. So this is a summary of the accounts examined during the audit, and today LFR wants you to give the information as to how many accounts have been taken up for review or for the audit. So this is my total which I have reviewed, assuming this is the figure and this is the total outstanding, and this is the percentage examined. So a question may come, sir, how much percentage should I look into? It is purely auditor's judgment, but suggestion will be to definitely cross somewhere around 10 and 20 depending on the kind of loans the bank is exposed to. Otherwise there is no specific rule. So details of the suspense accounts, anything which is beyond 90 days, it should ring a bell, and so ensure that you go dig deeper as to why there are items which are not cleared within 90 days. And these are one of the areas where frauds could be there, not telling there will be there. Fraud prone areas, so you please look it very, very cautiously and try to get reasons why those items are lying. Next is quick mortality. Any loans which have become NPA within 12 months, they have to be reported with terms to the account number, account name, and the balance at the year end. How do I find that? Please take the NPA accounts which captures sanction date and NPA date, and you do analysis of simple difference between two dates equal to NPA date minus sanction date, which will give me the number of days. I will try to do a filter and say numbers less than 365. So these were the accounts which became non-performing within 1 year, that is within 12 months. So this will call for a reporting. I can do a sorting. Of course, this could not have been possible within 84 days, but then where some frauds come to light and you know that it is no longer going to be a standard asset, you need to classify it as a NPL. Then there's one more question in LFAR, saying does the bank have a system of identifying the dormant or inoperative accounts and the internal controls are being there, and in the cases which you have examined whether the guidelines have been followed. So I remember we generally what we do is we ask them the inoperative accounts which got operative. They'll give one file or folder that will contain information of the accounts which have become operative. But as an auditor, I'm interested in knowing whether they have did it for all accounts, and I can ask them that these are the accounts, why don't you pick me and give. So how to do that scientifically? Try to get the list of inoperative accounts as of 31st March 2024. Then try to get the list of accounts which are inoperative as of 31st March 2025. Now what you can do a small VLOOKUP. Say VLOOKUP, look for the account which was there in 24 and see whether it is available now also. If it is available now, which means account was inoperative during last year, now current year end also it is inoperative, I don't have to worry because the account has not become operative. But there was an account which was inoperative as of 31st March 24. In the current list, it is not there, which means it has become operative, which are all these not applicable categories. So I can filter all those not applicable category, means accounts which have become operative. And in this, I'll pick 2-3 samples and tell them, boss, please give me the sample so that, show whether you have taken proper documentation and see how you made it operative so that I can give my opinion upon. I remember few members telling, sir, we are not able to get a list for anything you are doing the audit. If you are not able to demonstrate or get a sample, please don't commit on it. Tell that since there are no adequate samples available, we are unable to comment on the system being available or not. That is always better. I have tried to have one sheet for UDIN where you capture the information right from day one rather than wait for the last minute, because it then takes a lot of time for you to take the information or pull out the information. This can be filled beforehand as soon as the balance sheet is ready, and then when you are doing the final review, you can recheck whether that is right or not. And when it comes to UDIN, ensure that only one UDIN is required for the audit report, LFR, and the certificates. Second UDIN is required only if there is a tax audit report or tax audit is being done by you, which I think today all PSU banks, none of the PSU banks are supposed to do the tax audit. Third, as I told you, prepare a covering letter for all the certificates to avoid any misuse of UDIN. And if there are any certificates which get signed on different dates, please ensure that there is a separate UDIN which have to be generated. Don't use the old UDIN one. There are possibilities that few certificates are signed by some other partner. Please generate a separate UDIN for that partner rather than using the old same UDIN. And last, if there are any joint auditors, all the UDIN will have to be taken separately and then attached in their report respectively, or both have to be captured in the main report. So this is one sheet which I use to track my pending works actually. As I've told you, to be reported or reviewed or pending, say from bank, Virag is doing this, Ramesh is doing this, Ketan is doing this. So I can say maybe I need HO communic for insurance. And say Virag is taking care of advances and NPA. And the other partner is doing physical verification of cash. The moment I have completed it, I can put a control 5. Control 5 is a shortcut for strike through, which means whatever you type and you give a control 5, it gets struck off. I want to undo that, I can give another control 5. So control 5 acts like a toggle switch, where if the moment I put control 5, it will strike through, and I type Control 5 again, it will reverse the thing actually. So this helps me for as a small tracker for me to see what are the things which are pending or what have I done. So end of the day, when there are so many things pending from, you can do a small review, communicate to your team or the branch saying that, sir, these are the things I expect from you. Why don't we have it ready the next day, which will save a lot of time when we are closing the audit. And the last very important point is MR. Management representation is a must. And many times I have observed that we do the audit, but when it comes to MR, we forget or we miss out on things actually. So as and when you are doing the audit, please note down things. Example, the manager says there are no pending litigations. How will you know whether those have been shown to you or not? Please make a point here so that tomorrow when you prepare the final MR, which I have put a copy in the bank audit template sheet. So there's a small MR I have prepared, and of course, feel free to add. There might be additional things which would have come and few things which may not be applicable also. So please change it accordingly, which will suit your need, and it will help you to get an MR when you close down the audit actually. And I'll do one thing. I'll try to upload the file right away. So these files have got uploaded. What are worked for you to get the master file? You need to use this 11 bank audit template. This is a master file you can download actually. I have shared the link in chat box. I'll put it in questions also. Virag, how can we copy the link to others? I'll put submit a question. You can copy this link. This link, the Excel sheet itself contains the first sheet. The last item shows the Chat GPT bank audit GPT, which you can use it. So the Excel file, as I told, for whomsoever want it can use by clicking that link. Somebody says, do we need to obtain separate engagement letter for ICFR? No, not required. The normal engagement letter itself will do, because ICFR is part of it actually.
Sir, I have shared with everyone in the question
Yeah.
tab.
Okay, for even bank audit, if you are very keen, I will do one thing. I will share that again. In the question, I have copied this, and for those who want a shortened link also, I will give that. So especially if you are going to use any AI tools, please, only one word of caution is don't try to put any confidential data there. not that whatever you put will be shared. If there is any data breach which happens later, that information should not be misused actually. That is my only point. Of course, few of the concepts what I have told can help you to prepare a better template for any of the audits you are doing actually. It's just not the bank audit. But of course, today's focus was more as to how you can answer using technology and as well as parallelly create documentation and close as you are going. Uh, People are still asking links. The links are available in the question box. I've shared it in.
So we have also uploaded in the YouTube as well. Thus all the links,
Okay.
and also
Okay.
we have given in through chat box as well to everyone. So people can check there. Sir, amazing session, sir. People are appreciating already for sharing all this material as well and explaining so wonderfully. From Chetna ma'am, this comment is there, and I think same feeling from each and every participants, and also appreciated by our chief guest about your uh, the work during your leadership chairmanship at SIRC as well as entire regional council term at SIRC. So great service to the profession, sir, and we are very much. It's our privilege to have you here and share your knowledge to each and every participants. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again. We are
Yes, somebody has
very
raised their hand. If
happy.
they have any query, Suresh Kumar Surana have raised their hand.
If there is any query, they can post in the question tab as well. Link already given. I think there is no such now any query is left out, sir.
No,
Sridhar
I
ji
think
is
I have
telling
covered
thank you for an amazing session. So thank you, Sridhar ji, for your appreciation for sir and for the session, the sir session. Yes. So with this, sir, we can conclude our today's session. Uh, uh, every time we would like to call you, sir, during bank audit, but you are so much busy taking session at so many places. This time you also visited West, also Vapi branch. In the past, also you visited Surat and other branches. Mumbai. Will hope to meet you again in some of the conferences. But yes, your skills are unmatchable. Maybe AI technology or even writing with both the hands. So much to learn from you, sir. We are very grateful to you, sir. Thank you once again, sir, and thank
Thank you.
you, Nilesh sir, in sir's absence here, and also Ketan sir, for sparing out time and telling all the initiative he is taking for the WRC members as in chairman WRC. So we are very thankful to all the leaders from addressing from our platform today. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, participants, for making it as a successful webinar during bank
Thank you,
audit.
Virag, and I must appreciate, though it was 3rd April, you said at least people who would have not have started can take benefit of it. Good kudos to the
Sure.
efforts.